Plus, as one robbery suspect learned, if you're going to commit a crime during a snowstorm, it pays to cover your tracks. And I'm Joey Lin. Sentencing is now underway for her ex-boyfriend, 30-year-old Jonathan Kleintobe, for his involvement in her killing. A man is arrested on armed robbery charges after police followed his footprints in the snow. The suspect, 22-year-old Clayton Otto of Rapid City, reportedly robbed the Loaf and Jug convenience store on Mount Rushmore Road around 11:30 p.m. Saturday. Police followed the robber's footprints to a home on the 800 block of Clark Street. Since police were told the robber was armed with a shotgun, they called out the Rapid City Pennington County Special Response Team to serve a search warrant. In the search, police found a shotgun, clothing reportedly worn by the suspect. Otto is currently in Pennington County Jail. Firefighters and police were called out to a fire Saturday morning on the 2400 block of 5th Street. But when they arrived, they found a surprise in the attic. While police talked to the person at the home, firefighters went to work on the fire in the attic. The resident told the police there was no one else in the home, so firefighters was surprised when they came across a man in the attic. Investigators say 40-year-old Julian Garcia of Pine Ridge broke into the attic the night before. While staying in the attic, he reportedly lit his sweatshirt on fire Saturday morning, causing the fire. Garcia was arrested for second-degree burglary. Rapid City and Pennington County issued no travel advisories this weekend, meaning folks should stay off the roads unless they absolutely have to drive somewhere. While many of us can hunker down and stay put during the snowstorm, first responders don't always have that luxury. Connor Matson takes a look at how this weekend's blizzard impacted their efforts. Well, it was nice to have some calm weather today. So after a busy weekend with blizzard, today's a nice change.
Certainly is. So can we expect more sunshine and warm air for the rest of the week? Well, for that, we check in with meteorologist David Stradling. David?
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a pretty similar to today, like we had today as we go.
Thank you, David. Saturday's storm left more than an impression on Rapid City streets. Snow crews have been working around the clock to make the roads safe. Crews have been hitting the residential streets aggressively since the storm ended, but there is a snow policy that the city has to go by. During a storm, residential areas are sometimes lowest on the priority list, and that's when the city will try to utilize contractors in those areas.
Our main priorities with any storm event is always to keep our emergency routes, our main lines, our hills and collectors open. Storm event like this with all the wind, it was a big challenge. We'd clear those areas and then it would sock right back in and we had to retrace our steps.
When the city needs more staff, they enlist crews from the Solid Waste Division to help out in clearing the streets. Still ahead tonight on Black Hills Fox News at 9. Some local businesses stick around for a year or two,
while others shine throughout the decades. We'll check out a local jewelry retailer celebrating a milestone anniversary. That's after the break, right here on Black Hills Fox News at 9.
The Rapid City Area School Board met tonight, and one of the key items on their agenda was setting the location for the school bond vote. There has been debate about changing polling places from schools to other areas for concerns over the safety of students. The special election allowed the board to select locations for the bond vote. The board voted to leave polling locations as they are, with 3 exceptions. Pinedale Elementary's voters will now vote at West Middle School Community Center. South Middle School gym voters will now go to South Middle School Community Center, and those who voted at Southwest Middle School will now go to Crossroads Wesleyan Church. The school bond election is set for February 25th, 2020. The only no vote was from Kate Thomas, who cited concerns over the city auditor's office having enough time to alert voters about their polling locations being relocated.
What started as a small operation in Webster, South Dakota 60 years ago has turned into something major.
Our Kaylee Schmidt has more on the big milestone for Riddle's Jewelry. Plus, a popular local franchise closes suddenly, leaving 30 restaurant workers without a job right before the holiday season. That story is after the break. David? Thank you, David. Just before the holidays, more than 30 restaurant workers found today that they suddenly no longer had jobs. Famous Dave's Barbecue on Eglin Street closed its doors today. Staff said they were blindsided and that there were no prior indication of the possible closure. Twin brothers Pat and Casey Ryan own the location, are based in Billings, Montana. A former employee said she took a former coworker to pick up their final check today and saw Pat, who the employee described as sad. A former server described the frustration of the sudden closure, especially as we move closer to the holidays.
It's very saddening. We have a Facebook page and we've been posting on there. It sucks, you know, so now everybody's trying to find work. We're out of work. We're going to be out of work. We've got 23 days till Christmas. Most of my coworkers have families.
Edwards said that their manager did not know about the closing beforehand and described business as often incredibly slow. The space is already slated to become an all Chicago's. We called the restaurant for a comment, but we were unable to reach anyone.
And we'll be right back with your business news after the break.
Do you believe there is something in common between Black Hills and the mountains of Nepal? I visited a place here in Rapid City that might connect you to the mountains far away.
Popular here.
Kathmandu Bistro is one of the many Nepalese and Indian restaurants here in Black Hills.
We have chicken chili here, and this is the most popular here, and butter chicken.
They have a hearty buffet, or you can order from the menu as well. This establishment has been here since 2013.
My brother-in-law, he opened the restaurant here, and after 6 months, in December 2013, I came here and joined this restaurant as a worker, and then we all from Nepal.
Gokarna Tandon is now also an owner and the manager of this restaurant. His brother-in-law worked as a doctor at Regional Health. Together with other doctors originally from India and Nepal, they started this bistro. When Tandon started here, he was not sure if there will be a lot of customers here, but to their surprise,
we have a lot of a local customer. They love our food. They love our traditional Nepalese and Indian food, and they try every week, once a week, and some people it twice a week. So
I live here, and this is my family. They came all the way from Houston, but we've been here various times actually. The first time we came here was when I first moved here, and we loved it ever since. And so we come here pretty often whenever they come in town.
Tandon has also since called Rapid City home because something about the Black Hills area reminds him of his hometown.
I love this place. It's a small, beautiful place, and it looks like my hometown where I grew up. Hilly and mountain, and I love this place.
Finding their own Himalayan mountains and Black Hills, he and his family will continue to provide the dishes from South Asia and hope more people would enjoy it. In Rapid City, I'm Choi Lin, Black Hills Fox News. If you're making cornbread, you might be tempted to go with the ready-to-mix package. But as meteorologist and food guru Eric Gardner points out, you can't beat starting from scratch. Here's why in tonight's 60-Second Kitchen. And be sure to tune in next week for another bite-sized course of culinary knowledge with 60-Second Kitchen. And we'll be right back with your Fox Files after the break. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look back at the top plays of the week in this week's Fox's Finest. And the Sturgis wrestling team is young but promising. Those stories and more when we come back with Black Hills Fox Sports. Over the last few decades, singer and actress Idina Menzel has carved a career out of playing larger-than-life characters with larger-than-life voices.
Well, why not feel Mary? She's got a beautiful voice, and that's a great new opportunity for folks to, add some new Christmas music to their collection.
Yeah, I think I would like to hear that at least in my car when I drive.
Yeah, silky smooth and very pleasant, and kids will like her because she was the voice in Frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.